Well, it's that time again. Trying to find a place to set you guys tonight. But, I don't know. Gotta keep an eye on you, make sure you don't go tumbling down. It's that time. It's 6 p.m. Central, and we're here, and the cat's freaking out. It's okay. Oh, I just see that's getting full again. That engine start stand, every time I drain the radiator, it still has antifreeze in it, then it fills the hose, and then when I move it, it splashes all over the place. Hello, don't know who all's here, but welcome. And there is the pain in the butt. But you got a little news for some people. I lucked out. Now this is stupid. Unfortunately. Hey King, how you doing? Seen you earlier. Yeah, so far it's playing nice. And I forced this tablet to do all its updates. So it should not have any updates to do. Hey Kurt, hey Matthew. Well, the good news is I did not throw the old gears away. They're laying here on the floor. Which I don't understand why when you want a complete time and chain set, you can't get a complete time and chain set. Hey, that was fun, King. That's no problem. I was glad I thumbing through and seeing you were on. Now you got a heck of a nice car you're working on there, too. Then as I'm getting ready to start the live stream, I bumped my wooden door. Yes, bumped the wooden door and cut my knuckle. So, yep, we might have a little bit of company here in a little bit. Buddy had to come borrow my impact driver for an upcoming job. We got to put a fuel pump in a Denali. Yeah. Ah, figures, Mike. Oh. I tell you guys, I haven't done a damn thing this weekend. Nothing. Yeah. Mama Bear's probably sleeping because my day started at 4:10 this morning. I went into work with Mama Bear today. She was not too keen on opening that store after yesterday's ordeal, so I went in, sat with her. Then another guy come in out and waited for it to open. Then I headed home, and it's been an up and down day. But yeah, this little Ford, I get this thing together and don't have any problems, I'm going to be a very happy camper. I'm looking at the bolts going, where did they all go? Yeah, they come and go fast. I seen I had 11, now I'm down to 7. So, yeah, that didn't last too long. Within the first 2 minutes, I had 11, then dropped to 7. So, nope. Otherwise, yeah, the time and chain kit came without the gears. And I still got to get the new torque yield bolts for the cams and the front gear. But at least I didn't throw them away. Saved the guy. I found the gears and they were only like $30 with shipping. So, but why they couldn't put them in the timing set, I don't know. I guess I should have got a Chloe's. Chloe's was a complete set. And that's the other thing I got to determine if they got the right one yet. Because they've got the balance shaft chain in this one too. Yeah, that's true, Mike. But nope. Yeah, King, there's mine hiding back here in the corner. There's my 210. And I've got the spool gun and everything on that one too. But, and there's my torch. So, he got a heck of a deal on what he found. Definitely right place, right time. Oh, yeah. I need his luck. Give up on it, Mike. I don't understand why you're having so much trouble, but then again, there's times I have that much trouble too. Look like I'm leaning now, but got you sitting on the 60 over motor. But otherwise, I kind of thought about. Yeah, you had the split after, yeah. Yeah, I got looking. I figured I better go find something to eat. I hadn't ate all day. Well, I ate early this morning, and I think our food from last night didn't set well. We ate Mexican last night. Until about an hour ago, I didn't feel like doing nothing. So then I decided, yep, I'm going to live stream. What the heck? I got a Sprite and some water and feel pretty good. Yeah. So now I kind of thought about working on that little V6 tonight, but I got to read up on it. Yeah, there's some Mexican restaurants here in Iowa, and usually their food sets pretty good. And I had the fajita, and that was really good going down, but oof, not so good today. But yeah, I'm happy with what the guy did on the heads. Then I found out something too. Hi Joe. Found out something too. Before I put those heads on, I better roll the cam into position, because this is what they call an interference fit motor. And if I got to roll that cam over after it's on the heads, you got to take the followers out so you can roll it over so you don't bend the valves. So, yeah, I need the cam tool so I can align the head before I put it on and hold the cam in its position. I'm like, this is the most rinky-dink motor I've ever. And then my neighbor's got the new Ford with the EconoBoost in it. And he looked at this. He goes, boy, that ain't much of an engine. I said, bud, you're basically looking at your engine. He's like, what? I said, basically, that's what that is. This is a glorified Ford. This is before they glorified the Econo motors. He just had a dumbfounded look on his face like, oh. It didn't sink into him until after I pointed that out, so. Yep, beautiful and sunny here. My truck said 67, 69. Phone says 63. And it's been saying 63 the whole time, so I don't know what its problem is, but. All right. Hey, come on, people. 10 people in here, no likes yet? Oh, jeepers. Smash that like button. Come on. I had 11 when I started saying that, but. Okay, you go enjoy those steaks, Joe. Yeah. Tells me he's going to be grilling steaks tonight, and then doesn't invite me early enough to get over there. That's okay. Oh. So yeah, I got the, as you guys seen, the 6-inch rod 350s out of here. Kind of got everything else that's needing to be done right now out. And now we're going to work on this 4.0 and try and get this. You ain't got a whole cow already, Joe? Come on, jeebers. Now we got the rest of the parts out of the Ford pickup that I need to put this motor together, and I just wish I had my big table in here again. I'd lay everything out and then categorize the bolts, and I'll get it figured out. Should run better than it did when it was new, because the block was warped, the cylinders were funny shaped. I thought he went 30 over, but I guess they found 20 over pistons. So it's only a 20 over 4.0 now. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on. Glad the weather's finally getting nice. I'm really ready for some nice warm weather. I'm sick of this cold and crap. And hey, Jason, you made her. Ugh. I get this little guy right here out of here. Then this one down here is one that you've been waiting for, Jason. There's that 400. I think I'm going to work on that one. Get something going on that. Let's see, who was that? Yeah, and then Mama Bear's second job or third job, whatever you want to consider, is winding down. So hopefully we can get her out here and get her going on that 327. And now this little guy here, what gets me is the guy said he had the crank fitted, and then he takes it back off to ship it home to me. It also says there's 2 cans of black spray paint on it too. Really? So it does look. It's a nice looking little block now. See something flash up. Hey Eddie, how you doing? So yeah, all the engine stands are full right now. I'm trying to decide if I want to kick the 60 over block off or just dig out one of the. Well, thank you, Eddie. I tried to do the best I can and try and keep something going. And if it's got pistons and cranks in it, rods, it seems like I mess with it. I've got Comfy over there. I really need to get a carburetor order for that. Then I can put that motor to use this year. Got the little 283. I got the pistons cleaned up for that. I got to get the block cleaned. But it just, everything's kind of slowed down again. Comes and goes in spurts. And then the cold weather and the drear and everything sure didn't help me any. You're watching and eating, yeah. I kind of catch people either at their supper hours or something. And it works best for me because now with it staying lighter later, I can do this and still go home and still have maybe a little time, a light left. Sit outside with the wife or something. You never know. I know the 454, now I got it off the start stand. I'm going to break down and finally commit myself and cut that guide plate in 2. Get everything tightened down. And see if I can vice grip it together to hold it in its place. And then weld it back together. So the rocker arms are hitting where they're supposed to. I don't like doing modifications like that, but just shy of replacing the heads, and the guy's not doing that. He wants to make work. And he knows it's not perfect, so, which is sad. I mean, for what he spent on it, it should have been perfect, but he knows. So, yeah. I must have had a little bit of a glitch. So, yeah, otherwise, I've now got all the front end parts for my truck. And I got to get that where I can get that rebuilt again. Yeah. First time failure. And I told him that. I said, it's the first time I've had trouble with your parts. And I think what the problem is with the tie rods is they're greaseless. So I might take one of the old ones and drill into it and see how thick that metal is. If I can drill it and tap it and put a grease zerd in it, I might put a grease zerd in these. So, it's nice to have lifetime warranty on the parts, but at $100 a shot to have your front end line after messing with it, that's starting to outweigh the cost of the parts. Hey, CJ, how you doing? So, yeah, Mama Bear and I went for a cruise last night. Kind of just got away from everything and hey, see, you want a pickup, though. I was going to say, CJ, you should get a hold of me later. I might have something for you. Since the mother-in-law got freaked out about her car. And everybody's got her convinced that it's junk, and it's not. So, it's still bleeding. Wooden door. I just barely bumped it and rolled my knuckle right up. And I thought I had that last 350, the orange one that I started, sold, and nothing's come of that yet. It's I keep getting told the guy hasn't come back to give him the money for the motor, because once he had the money in hand, then I'm supposed to take it down, but it hasn't happened yet, so that's kind of why things have slowed down a little. Gotta keep that stupid cash flow going. This little thing here, I'm going to be glad. I don't care about. I just want the thing together. Want it to run right and out of here. And I don't know. I think that guy's talking about keeping his truck. The thing about it is, I get this one running, I might end up with another twin to my truck. Have more truck parts, another spare engine. So I might be able to take 3 trucks and make a good one out of that gray truck. Yeah, I've been sitting outside, soaking up the sun a little, and just doing a little bit of everything today. Even caught a couple of live streams, and, well, I tried catching Mike's. His kept failing for him when he was out on location. And King of Cans there, I caught him, and I kind of dumbfounded you there for a little bit, I see. Then seen 265 Chevy in there, and that was kind of fun. That's what I like about the internet out here at the farm. It works. I'm not having the trouble of. So, yeah, and that one motor we built, somebody asked about that too. The one that we built the short block on, it's still sitting right here. I got a set of heads I'd really like to get for it. I am thinking about going to a mother thumper cam in it, like Kenny suggested, and kind of make that a Saturday night little special. You can drive it during the week, and if you want to go play, you'll be able to play with it. So, but I wonder if Buddy's having trouble. He's trying to get this Denali we got to put the gas pump in, the fuel pump in. He'd been trying to get one of the lug nuts off in oh, you want a 2.2? I think I got a 2 liter pop around here. We could shoot that out of an air cannon. That'd be pretty fast for you. I gave him my big impact 1/2-inch drive, and I said, if this don't take it off, you got problems. Yeah, I kind of figured he'd be back by now, but uh-oh. So yeah, we got a Denali coming in. We got an old Chevy truck out here we got to tear the motor and tranny out of. Tranny goes one place. The motor, I got to find a place to store. It's a good running motor. And it's a low mileage truck. I think it's only got like 114,000 on it. But she's junk. I think tomorrow I'm going to even check the price of iron. Some of this might even go in for iron price. I don't know. The Camaro I really don't want to tear apart yet, because that's the easy way of storing the parts. And then the wife's kind of talking about getting the Camaro out of the garage this year. Well, I'm kind of thinking that too. So, I don't know. We might have... This weather stays nice like it is and stays dry. I'm going to be outside a little bit more. I think that's what I'm fighting. I'm tired. I got cabin fever staying bad. It's making me sick. And I definitely want to duplicate that motor I just sent out for the racing world. That little 350. Holding my hand on that throttle and cracking that 2-barrel open. That thing was smooth. I wanted to do the glass water test to see how much of that you got it revved up. That thing was just smooth as could be. So that's what I wanted to do with the 60 over there with the guy that sent me the wrong pistons. I wanted to check the theory between a 5.7 rod and a 6-inch rod to see if it was worth that. Well, then that, as you guys know, he gave me the wrong pistons, and he finally made it right, so. But yeah. And then somebody, I think it was Kurt, gave me the idea about using a big old industrial Rubbermaid trash can for my dunk tank for that rust remover. That's going to be a lot cheaper than what they wanted to make for in town. They're proud of their plastic. They are very proud of their plastic. And so I'm like, okay, that's fine. No big deal. You know it was going to be bad when the owner himself comes out and I stand up. He says, well, you might want to stay sitting. I'm like, oh, that bad, huh? He goes, a lot worse than what I thought it was going to be. I'm like, oh. Yeah, so not going through the plastic place. Nope. Then we got, I think this one is, yeah, door handle for the Tahoe. Yeah, kids get it. I knew the handle was getting weak, but I didn't think it was that weak. Huh, it's supposed to be gray. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, all sorts of projects, and now it means we got to get going on the lawnmowers, get them repaired. I think last year the oh yeah, I've got a plastic drum here that I've thought about cutting up, but that one is what I haul my water out here with. Which now the weather's staying nice, I want to take that down, fill it up, and well, actually I'll fill it up twice. I got another 55-gallon drum over there for water, so I got some water out here. And that's the other thing. It's time to clean out the hot tank, and yeah, a lot of things have been waiting on this weather to get warm and get done, so I can get it done. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Should make Joe come back and, hey, Casey. Should make Joe come back for a few days. Give him a toothbrush and tell him to scrub everything. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Hi, Mike's How To. How you doing this week? What else we got going on? Well, we got that. We do have everything but the intake and oil pan for Mama Bear's motor. Oh, that's good, Mike. I did find the manual for this Ranger, so I can figure out how I got to put the oil pan on, and there's a whole bunch of. I get this thing to get, and unfortunately, it's got to go in the truck before I can start it. So I really hope it goes in and stays in, and don't have to come back out. Casey, the snow better be gone until January of 2019. We don't even need any more this year. Yeah, that had to be the killer there. Finding out what it'd be to ship one of those back here, Andrew. Yeah, that could be the killer. But then again, an empty plastic jug. You never know. Oh, okay. All right, who's talking about me? Well, Squirrel went to prom last night. She was well, not last. I don't know what Friday night, Saturday. I don't know. Maybe it was last night. I don't know. She got to be a server, then she got to go to the prom. So then she's worried she's not going to make it because I guess the schools nowadays around here anyway, they make you have to have enough points to be able to go to prom and graduation. I'm like, if you pass, you go to graduation. I guess if you pass with a C or D, you may not get to go to graduation. I'm like, that's not right. But I don't think any of the kids are that low on grades in school anyhow. But I tell you, things are sure changed since we went to school. Oh. Oh, okay, Mike. Well, if you ever have any questions, you know how to look me up and find out. I guess we're going to find out if we got a tire to air up or if it came off. I think he left the truck running, so I don't know if that's a good sign or not. Hope he back. I bet you backed up to the door is what he did. We'll see what he says when he comes in. Messy. What's Gonzo? Hey, Gonzo, why is it? Oh, Gonzo, you retracted. I was like, what? I thought it said restricted. I didn't get it. Hi, Gonzo. How you doing? Yeah. Yes and no. I ended up buying a Sprite today just to get my stomach to feel good. Yeah. After seeing all the pop bottles. 400 is going to be a 5.7 rod with a 400 crank. So that's what I used to consider a long rod. But long rods now are, what, 6.125 now they've got? I don't know what kind of pistons you need for that, but. So how'd it go, bud?
Got it.
They come off, huh?
Yeah. Wait till you see the nut.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Had to beat the socket on.
Holy moly.
Somebody rounded it off last time they changed it.
Well.
Once I got the socket off, or once I got the nut off, then I couldn't get the socket off because I beat it on.
Okay.
So, took me a while.
I was starting to wonder. I was just talking about you, and I'm like, well, he ain't back yet, and I got a metal sliver off that sucker. Sorry. Oh, that's fine.
No, just in your office.
Yeah, just like that in the office.
I brought that tire.
Okay. We'll see if we... Dang, where'd it go? Huh. What kind of... That 60 over motor you doing? What do you... You asked what kind of ring gap. I'd have to look up. If it's straight use, what did I say last week? Point. I'd have to look it back up again. So, let's see. It's sitting right there. Oh, I set it right there. After it gave me a sliver.
Yeah. You want it in here, Rod?
We'll go outside.
All right.
We'll just. I told him we might have a little bit of work to do quick. Noisy for a second here. And okay, there's my keys. I gotta get my tire tester. Let's see, sit you guys here for a second. You can wear about anything as long as you're dressed. I never can remember which key it is. Not too many locks. I used to be able to look at any key and tell you exactly what it was, and can't do that anymore. There it is. Come on. Get out the real tire inflator. Woo. I'm gonna grab some water too. Show you guys what it's like outside. This is beautiful out here. Hopefully you guys are playing yet. Let's see. Set you guys there. What do you see? Just the metal. Yeah, I'll just set you guys right here. You guys can, whoops, watch and see if we blow ourselves up with a tire. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, it's nice being outside. That's sweet. If we would have done this about 2 months ago, we'd still be standing here cussing.
Why didn't I get that on the bead?
Because it was cold.
Because it was cold and because it was down on the ground. The weight was on it.
Yep.
Bubbling there.
Yeah, that don't surprise me. We're only at 11 pounds.
It might not be fully on there yet.
All right. Okay, that's 16. Yeah, the sun does shine in Iowa once in a while. And I probably really shouldn't be leaning on this tire, but it's already seated about that time. Hey, that'd be a viral video, watching me get thrown up on the roof. That'd be a heck of a feat. Are you guys going to start in the field tomorrow?
No, I don't think so. I think it'll be mid to late week.
Hey, Jerry.
We got 2 front tires on the big tractor that are cracked. We got to get new tires.
Ah. There's 35, so it's going.
Be on Tuesday or Wednesday. So.
Okay.
They want $200 a tire to come out and change them on site. So we're gonna
take them off, take them in.
Block it up and
take them off.
Take them up to the second. Pretty good money.
All right. Let's see. Well, we were leaking there, but looks like it's seated. I should be drinking this instead of water, but oh, yeah, it's
bubbling there.
Yep, bubbling around the rim on this side. Let's see.
Down in there, or did it see?
Yeah, it moved. If you don't hold there, just beat it. So far that's working. I see I'm splattering you guys a little. But oh
my. That's pretty bad.
That one's pretty bad.
No wonder it never holds like that. It ain't bad, is it?
Was it completely flat? Was it completely flat when you moved it?
It had about 10 pounds in it when I moved it.
Yeah, that side's going. Looks like it's the whole side over here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to have to go to
That's
town.
gonna have to go to town.
That's got to go to town. I was going to say, watch me flip it over, roll it over, and smash the tablet. All right. Well, we tried.
That's all you can do.
That's all we can do. Yeah, they're going to have to be cleaned. Oh. Yep. Let's see. Now we'll go in here. Yep, she's got the one side to seal, but the other side's not going to play nice for us. At least it didn't get dirt on the camera. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I haven't made a stand for that thing yet. Through US Cellular, LG. No, it used to be. Ah! So, yeah, get the tire fixed and have your wife give me a call or something. And, we'll get that drug over here so we can get see if we can get her to run and see if the motor stays quiet.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I get that fixed and on there, I'll let you know. So, you guys can work on that while I'm working on the
There you go. Well, like I said, Derek's been real chopping at the bit to do stuff.
That thing was flat on the ground. There was zero clearance for me to crawl under there and get a jack.
Oh, under the...
And I've just barely caught a piece to jack it up, and then before I took the tire off, I blocked her up.
Good thinking there, bud.
I knew I was going to have to beat on it with a sledge to get it off.
Yeah, that one... Woof! Yeah.
All right, I'll let you know.
All right, see you later.
Yep, thank you.
Yep. Glad I got it off for you.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see what have I missed. Okay. Let's see. What do I... Sorry. Hey, Jerry. Yeah, Kurt, you're right on that. Yeah, he's going to take it to town now. Hey, Kelly. Yeah, you were right. I'm live. Getting mud all over my screen and just tried beating a tire into submission, but it didn't work. Take out my frustrations on it. God. I'll tell you right now, if the weather stays warm the next couple of days, this is gone. This is gone. I can't stand it anymore. That's my problem. Water, I can't drink it slow. It's got to be ice cold, and I got to down it now. Well, that was our little bit of work. Thought we were going to have that tire fixed, but no. So yeah, we might have the Denali here this next week. Yay! Be good. Yeah, I had her up to 47 pounds and it wouldn't seal. So that's why I see spots. Maybe the spots ain't on the... Oh yeah, there's a few spots on there. Hey Matt, how you doing? I know the wife's doing some wishful thinking. She's got somebody coming to give her an estimate of what it's going to cost to put the siding on our house. What we got. I got a feeling we're going to have a heart attack when we get the quote. But I'm doing better. You would have asked me this morning. I thought I was going to keel over and die. I guess supper last night did not set well at all. And I admit, guys, I haven't done... Other than beating on that tire and watching my grandson yesterday, I haven't done anything since Thursday. Friday, all I could do is sit here and watch TV. I And I don't like taking the dang muscle relaxers. I don't like taking the pain pills. They just make me feel like crud. Well, and that's what I'm wondering now. This water pill they put me on, it's supposed to be for my blood pressure. And it is. I am noticing a little bit more of having to go. Let's see. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I guess the swelling is going down on my legs, so that's a good thing. So, at the same time, I look at him. I said, "My skin, you see, it's white." He says, "You're dry." Be a Ford mechanic. That's hiding behind me. Yeah. So, who the heck was I talking to? Oh, the one guy, the one racer. I says, "I'm going to tell everybody that comes along with a Ford from now on. I just go on down the road." He says, "No, tell them it's $1,000 an hour to work on it. They'll leave on their own." Spring? What spring? Now they're talking about we're going to be in a heat wave here pretty quick. I wonder what the next week's forecast is. I haven't even looked. I'm not sure, Andrew. I'll have to check. I don't even know what Squirrel's doing in school. 62 here, Matt. Daily. Holy moly! 67 tomorrow, 65 Tuesday, 60 Wednesday, 59 Thursday, 63 Saturday, 67 Sunday, and 70 degrees next Monday. Hey, backyard, how you doing? Well, I hate to say I'd rather work on a Toyota before a Ford. Yeah. Well, hey, Cab. Well, thank you. Hey, bud, how you doing? He hit me with those tips. Yeah, you were, what, 95, you said today? Up there? Thank you, Cab. Glad to see you stop by. Thank you, buddy. We're, you just threw me off. What was I saying? I don't know, but, yeah, the weather's finally going to turn, so I'm ready to start Well, I'm doing a lot better than what I was this morning, as I was saying, Cab. I don't know when you got here, but, for the ones that don't know, yesterday the wife had a hell of a scare. It took her a little over an hour to realize the store was robbed, and when they went and started looking, the store was robbed 10 minutes before she was sitting in the parking lot. And she circles the building every morning, and she didn't see nothing, so they're kind of thinking when she circled the building, the guy went out the back door. So, yeah. So, Mama Bear was a little scared, so I went with her to work this morning. Sat there with her until the regular guys got there. And so, yeah. And I asked her today, I said, "Anybody say anything about me sitting there with you?" And she said, "Nope, nothing." So, yeah. And I'm going to leave it up to her. I know she's really upset about that and having it be that close. No, she is seriously looking at getting her concealed carry after this. She actually asked the sheriff what she's got to do, and he told her, so she's going to probably get the thing, and then we're going to have to get her out here to the farm, teach her how to shoot it, because I guess when you go to the sheriff's, they take you out to the range, and you got to prove you know how to shoot your gun that you got, and then she'll be legal to carry. So, yeah. Then a couple of nights ago, I sat out here until late because I had the same vehicle come past here 6 or 7 times. And I think I finally figured out who it is. I think the neighbor got a new vehicle, so yeah. So yeah, Mama Bear's had quite day, then her boss was saying, "Oh, you're overreacting," and yeah, she can shoot a gun. She can do it. Just got to get her practiced up and get her to hold it. So, oh, Cam, thank you. uh, one of these days, hopefully. So, yeah, yeah, she needs to have something with her. As my Kelly here, he can vouch for it. It, I get these sting feelings that something. I usually know when a family member dies, but I don't know when they're going to die, or a close friend of mine dies. I kind of feel it before it happens, but I can't predict the day or who it is or nothing. I can't do that much, but I know something is coming. And I didn't say nothing to her because I know the gas station's bad enough to work at. I mean, just being a gas station is a bad job. I've had a feeling for a while something like this was going to happen, but it was going to be during store hours. That's the only nice thing is the guy did it when there was nobody there, but it was too close to her walking in the. If she wouldn't have hit her snooze on her alarm 3 times yesterday, she would have walked right into the middle of that yesterday. I said, well, Cab! Oh, dude! Oh, thank you, buddy. Man, I really want to shake your hand and make a friend someday with you, Cab. Uh, so, yeah, if it wouldn't have been... If it wouldn't have been for her hitting the snooze, she would have been in the store with the guy at the same time. So that's how close it was for Mama Bear yesterday. But yet, her boss and the one sheriff says, "Oh, you're you're overreacting." And no, well, on top of this, one morning she went to work and she went to an open store. She went to stick the key in the door to unlock it, and the door moved. And she reached up, and the doors were unlocked. So I don't know if that was a precursor of this to come, or if they tried getting in and she got there too soon, or some lady simply forgot to lock the door that night. But yeah, so she's had 2 scares with that store, and if she decides to quit, I ain't gonna say nothing because that's she had troubles having both our kids, and I told her after Squirrel was born, I said, we're not trying for any more, we're done. She really wanted to try and have a boy, but I said, no. I'd rather have you around and the kids around instead of losing you and raising these kids myself. So, yeah. So we might have to get Mama Bear brushed up on the gun stuff and get her on the course. Nope, that went by. I thought we were going to have another visitor, so. Cab, I definitely thank you. You've been, oh. Yes. Yeah, I wish I could get back into doing some of the small woodworking. Not many know under the furnace there is what's left. Well, in there, and then a couple other places is what's left of my woodworking tools. I don't have the big stationary stuff. I got. I think I was going to look for that. I hope I still have my one table saw. I guess I got thinking about that. Well, Joe, and now if her with a gun, whoever she's shooting at's going to be in trouble. Now I got thinking about that. I don't know where my table saw is. I haven't seen it for a while. Thank you, Cab. I try doing what I can, and I know. And I know I've let a few things get to me, and it's always last minute. And I think the big guy upstairs for at the last minute, I always pull it off. But I told him I I like to at least have a week or two in advance, a couple of times before pulling everything off, and it it works. Just gotta keep the faith. He woke me up again today. I may have felt like I got run over by a Mack truck, but we're still here and going. So, oh. Go get the other cold bottle. Doing that. I did all the updates on this thing earlier, so I wouldn't do that. I don't know. I might have walked between the. Let's see. I don't know if it keeps lagging on you guys too or what, but it keeps telling me very bad connection. See if that helps. A little closer to the router now. But well, here. Nice new deck surface. He was really surprised this little motor. Yes, Cab 7 has been a very good friend. And hopefully one of these times we either can meet somewhere, or if I go to North Carolina and get those tools, maybe meet up along the way. But the guy that machined this, he says, I'm surprised it got as many miles on it, because the factory had the deck screwed up from the get-go. So he decked the block, bored and honed it. And like I said, it still drives me nuts that he had the crank in it, then took the crank out to send it back home, because he said he fitted it. It fit well, like it's supposed to, but yet pulls it out, so I got to put it back in. But still, that's probably that $65 miscellaneous charge he charged me too. I'm like, ay. Oh, yeah, I can't. You kind of make me feel bad because I've been missing your live streams, but I've been trying to get stuff done and keeping things going, and the weather's been the big slow up for me. I better cover that since that's got all the. And yeah, there is literally, for the ones that know, there is literally 2 soft plugs he put in and charged $32 for. Literally 2 of them. That's why they got the big bucks, and I'm still struggling. But I got a conscience, and I don't. Putting in those 2 soft plugs, I wouldn't even charge Buddy for them. I mean, that's just something you do while you go along. Yeah, and like I said, I bought a few extra parts, and so I have something to keep building with. But unfortunately, I get guys interested, and for some reason they keep falling through. I've got all these motors and nothing to put them in. That'd be different if I was running a drag car or race car. Then heck, I'd just keep building them, pile them up, and run one till it blows and throw another one in. But I've had a couple of people approach me about going back in the racing, and I don't know. I'm not sure if I would do that or not with my own car. I mean, I'd be building it, but I don't know. Win the lottery? Hell yeah, I'm going to go racing. But you got to play it first. So no wonder I've never collected any winnings. I didn't realize you had to actually buy a ticket to win. I always had the winning numbers, but they would never pay off. So that's when they told me, oh, you got to buy one. Oh, that's how that works. Oh, well. Oh. So yeah, okay, I know I was talking about that 400. Yes, that 400. I use what I've got sitting in it right now. I'll get one out here and show you. Maybe. What the heck? Really? $455 Ols's, yes. they're kind of a thing of the past. There's it's an old set of Ohio pistons. And what I'm having a little trouble with is, you see how dirty the rods are? Well, we know how to clean those up. That rust remover. But it's rusty all the way up in there. And I'm not really sure what that rust remover would do to the aluminum pistons or the wrist pin area. So I'm trying to decide if I want to keep these rods or take them off. Because Craig, I lucked out. When my neighbor was here earlier, I had my neighbor stop in. We went and got the parts out of the old truck. And I hadn't thrown them away. There they lay. Right there. Now what I got to go to the Ford dealership and find out is if I can get the new torque to yield bolts. The 2 cam bolts, and then the intermediate shaft. $4,000 for a core? Holy moly. So yeah, I lucked out. I did not throw the gears away. And I did find a set on eBay, and I'm going to talk to that guy tomorrow. There are a set of gears for $25. I mean, I guess these gears don't look as bad as what I thought. But I'm going to leave it up to him if he wants complete brand new. I would feel more comfortable putting brand new gears in with a brand new chain, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being overcautious, but that's how I like my motor. I want them to be right. I don't like having comebacks. I don't want them to... they leave. I usually don't want to see them come back unless, like, this race motor that went out. I'd like to see it come back for a fresh up someday. And see how everything's wearing and... Yeah, you guys up there in Canada sure get nailed on prices up there. God, I need to do my hair. Jeepers. Boy. You know, a few years ago, I tried out the bald look. Looks like it's going to be pretty much that once we get done. Have to have the wife take the car polisher. Yeah, that little 305 that we built, I wish we could still have our hands on that. If I wouldn't have built that and put it in that car, I would have swore that was a 350. That little 305 ran hard. Stuck that in the 81 Cutlass Supreme. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Doing a lot better. Maybe that was my ticket to getting feeling better today. I finally broke down, went and got a couple of Sprites and a sandwich, and I'm feeling good. Either that or it's the fact that I'm finally awake. My day started at 4:10 this morning. Now, you'll have to watch back. Yes, those little 305s, they kind of got a bad rep. They were a good little motor. And the stupid GM soft cams they had for those few years. Cams weren't getting hardened right, and next thing you know, it pop. Why is it running like that? Yeah. And they could have put a little bit better gaskets and stuff in there, but I got a 305 over here, so yeah, here's the one that we built a couple, well, I guess 3 weeks ago. We did that live. The heads I want to get, I see you can get a set of Vortec heads now. Set of Vortec heads from a place, and they will drill them. Oh, the book's right here. They will drill them, except normal intakes. For $100 some bucks. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you can get brand new Vortec heads with 194-15 stainless steel valves. They're 64 cc combustion chambers with the Z28 springs on them. $1,000 and then $110 to re-drill them. So for $1,200, you can have a brand new set of heads right there. Yeah, there you go. So yes, and those light duty 624 castings that they had, oh my God. Yeah, you ran those in desperate times. And we ran a lot of desperate times with those. And see, that 305 that we built, it had the same size exhaust valves, but it had two different sized intake valves. One head was a 1.7 something, and the other one was an 180 or 194. They weren't mismatched. They were mismatched intakes, and that thing ran like a. He left a half-mile black mark with that Cutlass. Literally a half-mile black mark. It was there for years until they finally recovered the road. So. Oh, and this little Ford motor's even getting sealed powered pistons. I was kind of surprised that that's the set of pistons they got for it. Excuse me. Yep, one wheel pill. Yes, it was. If you started out straight. Now, if you started out with the car cockeyed and your wheels turned and laid into it, then you would turn both tires. But when he did the half-mile burnout, it did just the one wheel the whole way. But, yeah. My brown Monte Carlo was the same way. If you started exactly straight, you'd spin one wheel. But if you cocked that car a little and then took off, both wheels would lock up for long enough to get you going, and you were gone. One tire fire. Yeah. Lots of traffic. Well, I guess it is prom weekend, but again, we don't have any kids out in this area, but they're probably all out snooping around. But, I had somebody, somebody asked me earlier on one of my videos, how come I want to build a 377 out of an old 400 block? Well, because I can make it work, and I own the block already. They said, well, why don't you get one of these? Right there's why I don't get one of those blocks. That's the price, and you go down here, have it race ready, you add another $1,100. So you get about $4,000 just into your block? No. I do the stock stuff. I have fun with that. And I was real happy with the oil pressures that turned out on that race motor. Revved up like that, it was carrying 70, 75 pounds of oil pressure. And then at idle, it was at 35, 40. I was real happy with the oil pressure on that. Right. I mean, everybody thinks stock blocks were junk, and you could do, yeah, there's a limit, but if you're pushing that limit, yes, then you need to spend the more money, but it just, and it's what I like having fun with. And I kind of look at it this way, if you blow up an old stock block, you ain't out much. And these 377s I'm going to put together, they're just going to be that. Well, as I was saying, this 406, I do have piston press adapters at a. That's right. Say it can't be done. Yes, it can. Buddy of mine, when he was in college, he made me some custom-made pin presses. And that's what I'm thinking, since these are the steel reinforced. I mean, they got that steel plate up in there, right there. I should be able to press these off, no problem. And you can go 30 over. 30 over in a 400. I've heard of guys going 60 over. But it seems like the guys that went 60 over are always fighting a heating issue. Because you're 1, 3, and 5, so that'd be 4, 6, and 8. Their walls are up against one another. So when you go to 60 thou over in a 400, you don't have a lot of room left, and it produces a lot of heat. So I don't think I ever took a 430 over. If you can, now when I work with the 400s, if I can go 20 over or 10 over, but yeah, 60 over in a 400, yeah, it seems like you have heating issues. Yeah, 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 and if you've yeah, I've had. Now I was pretty lucky. My 377 when I built that, I put the steam holes in the double humps, so I had those, and that motor it would run 195, 200. It wasn't too bad. Okay, Kelly, thanks for stopping by. Yep. Aftermarket splayed main caps, that'll make a difference. A 400, when I had the 60 over sleeve, yeah, that was first thing he says, is that a 400 or 350? I said, it's a 350. Now to him, he says, he won't attempt to sleeve a 400. And I'm like, I got thinking back, I don't think my father-in-law ever did sleeve a 400 for me too. Yep, they put the head gaskets on without the steam holes, and then they wonder why. Or they put the 350 heads on, where, well, the casting numbers matched. That, and the big popular one was the 882s, the small heads. They take them off of 350. Well, the casting numbers match. It's got to be the same. Well, you got to add the steam hole. If you don't add the steam holes, it'll be fine. Yeah, and oh God, Rusty, he got that car and he had that problem where I think he ended up finding out the block was full of junk and that, and plugged the steam holes, and it was running hot. So yeah, it's got to put the steam holes in it. Now, if you're going to only do quarter-mile blast all day long with it, and that's all it was going to run, you could get away with that. But if you're going to drive it around and have fun with it, yeah, you got to have the steam holes. And I've ran 400 2-bolts. I've ran 400 4-bolts. And they never blowed up for me. So I don't know what people were doing to blowing them up. But like I've said, I got a set of pistons now. I got to take them. I got to get them down, dunk them in the carb cleaner, clean them up, wash them up. Yes, adding the deck plugs in the 400s makes a big difference too. And I got a set of Keith Black 40 over pistons. I really don't want to go 40 over in a block unless I have to. And one of the 400 bolt, one of the 400 blocks I got does have a pretty bad ring ridge. So that may be, I might use that block and put the Keith Black. There's some pretty domed up pistons, and that'll be a heck of a runner. But I think what I seen was wrong with these pistons is they didn't loosen the wrist pins. You've never owned a GM Predic yet, huh? Well, I've owned them all. I've had Ford, Chevy, AMC, yeah, Air Pockets is, you just stuck a blowtorch in there because it's going to burn stuff up. I got a 400 block laying here now that needs to have the deck sent off and welded up and then resurfaced and redone. But well, I got that block. I got a 350 4-bolt main late model block, but where the starter bolt's on, they screwed up the starter mounts, and so that all needs to be welded shut and then retapped and redone. So so I've got three or four blocks. If I can find somebody that's good at welding, and that ain't, yeah, I need parts for the junkyard motor. It ain't going to cost me an arm and leg to get that stuff fixed, then I'd send them off. Used to be a place in Nevada, Iowa, but I guess that went. The old boy that was doing it sold out, and the place that's running it now ran it into the ground. I guess they're not doing a very good repair, so. Supposedly he started up again somewhere. I got to figure out where. And send them off down to him. I seen a pair of double humps get sent down to him, and when they came back, I thought they were brand new castings. You could not tell there was ever that the one had dropped the valve. I mean, it literally punched most of the chamber out of the head. When they come back, I thought they were brand new castings. Father-in-law laughed at me. He said, "Nope, that's the same one that had that big hole about that big in the chamber. There wasn't much left of it." And they rebuilt it and fixed it. Yep, we've become a throwaway society. We got people paying up to $80,000 for a toss-away vehicle. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. Well, and I guess my scanner, I got to take that in and get that updated. Okay, Matt, you have fun. Take care. And I got your message, and yes, I know. I can call you anytime. The update for my scanner this year has got 400,000 new codes, and they're adding some control modules that I can finally. Some of the cars I hook up to, I can get to most of them, but I can't get to every module in the car. They say after this update, that will. I'm like, holy mackerel. And like he says, I told him I got this Cadillac Escalade that's been giving us fits and having troubles. He said, you'll be able to read every code in that vehicle now. And there's some cars out there that have got 110 separate computers in them to run everything. I'm like, holy moly. So, but those are in the high-end cars. I mean, a car that's smart enough to know when you go around a curve and all of a sudden your window is in the sun, it automatically darkens the window for you so you don't have the sun beating on you. That's what I call a sun visor. Come on, people. Just, oh. So, yeah. And this scat crank I got here, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. In order to get it balanced so it'll work with something, I got to have some heavy pistons. And heavy pistons kind of defeat the purpose of going fast. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It's a good standard crank, and it's in good shape. It's just not what we needed. Kind of drives me nuts, and kind of gone for a few years, not much traffic going by here. Then last few days after the weather getting nice, there's everybody and their dog going by here. So, otherwise, yep, I'm still starting to find a set of pistons for that 60 over, and I do have a set of 383 pistons. I guess I could turn it back into a 383, but I don't think those are big enough, so that ain't going to work. Yeah, those are they're 30 over, so yeah, that ain't going to work. They're half the size they need to be. Yep. like this. The sun's still out. Yes, the race motors are gone. They're out of here. What's in here is pretty much mine. Got a few things sitting here that we're still waiting to decide on, and just like everybody else, cash flow. What do I use? I use this stuff. I normally don't get it this big, but that was the deal they had. Right there. Right there's what I use for sealing my head bolts. That's, oh. That white brush on stuff. I've had very, very good luck with this over the years. And then that and this is my engine assembly lube. I've gotten in the fight with a motor shop. I picked it up what we are. Yeah, you should be able to get that on AutoZone. The store I used was what they call Arnold's. It's a local store here. Well, they've got a few stores all over the place, but that stuff and that white lithium grease is what I use. And then I had one race shop get mad at me because I used that stuff on one of their motors. That stuff plugs up oil filters. I said, no, it don't. Have you really ever tested it? As soon as that oil gets high, that stuff melts and mixes with the oil. Sorry, I know it's a pop, but... And this is stupid. They put me on a diuretic, harmful or fatal if swallowed. Yeah, I don't think you want to try and digest that stuff. No. I guess if you do, then you might make it Guinness Book of World Record, but... And then, yeah, that's basically, and then either that, and then I'll either use what comes with the cams, or I've been using this stuff for the initial lube. And I guess it'd be nice if they started putting that zinc into this stuff. Oh, interesting. They did. It says shake well. I'm like, how do you? Yes, cam lube. Yes. And prior to going to this, you know what I used to use for cam lube? Put it on my $200 camshaft that I had in my 377. I didn't have any problems with it. So, yeah, it says on the on this bottle, shake well before using. Well, as thick as it is, I don't know how you're gonna shake it. Hey, no problem, Mike. Oh, black grease, yeah. Old axle grease used to be like, if you like this cut here, and the old timers used to do it, and I imagine I wouldn't do it with the grease we got nowadays. They'd get a bad cut on their hands, instead of bandaging it up or whatever, they'd go over that fresh axle grease, stick their fingers in it, pack that cut full of it, and it'd heal, no scars, no nothing, no infections. So I always thought that was kind of strange, watching the old boys do that when I was younger. And I have to ask my buddy, he's got something going on with his hands, and see how his hands are doing. Good lube. Yeah, if the wife was here, she'd be having fun with that. The other day, he let the used motor oil run over his hands, and it actually gave him relief from, I mean, his hands look terrible. Oh, yes, Lucas, yep. I want to get some of that. Uh-oh. Was your ears ringing? Oh, we were just talking about you on the live stream. Yeah. What's up? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we could do that, or yeah, that'd be fine. Okay. Off to get the girls. Oh, really? Oh, God. Okay. Alrighty. Well, yeah, that'll work. All right. See you later. Love you. Bye. Okay. Sorry about that. She said her ears weren't ringing, so she didn't tune into us. So. Oh yeah, he's got what the heck they call it. I know one of his problems is he's got fibromyalgia, and he's got something else. And ever since he started taking this medication, his hands have gotten crusty, like, and even leaking like a fluid or so. And he says it'll all of a sudden take off itching, and if he digs at it and opens it up and drains it, then it goes away. But he's got these scabs starting to show up on his hands. And the other day, he changed the oil in the daughter's car when he did the rear strut, the rear shocks and that. And he just let the motor oil run over his hands. And he smarted off. He goes, watch that. After it'll be better. And by God, his hands looked better after he let that used motor oil run over his hand. And the crusty stuff started coming loose. So he was going. I forgot to ask him. He was going to tell his doctor about that. That letting used motor oil go over that gave him relief. So I don't know. I forgot to ask him about that the other day. He was down and wind come up and it got cold and he didn't stick around long. But and I had Mason that day too, so I forgot all about asking him. But yeah. Trying to keep my mouth from drying out. That seems to be the problem I have now. Yeah, I know the wife was getting that kind of on hers, but what they were saying is with her feet, when she was getting that, they said something about it's dry and it's trying to get the liquid out of your system to get it out the moist. It did not make any sense whatsoever. But it's gone away on her, so I had a feeling that was more stress related than medically related. So I don't know. That's the thing about it. I told Doc I don't like taking all these pills anymore because I think, yes, I really think that my kidney stone issue was from all the medications. That it's hard to believe. 2008, 2009, I was taking 26 pills 3 times a day just to stay alive. And now I'm down to taking insulin. All right, Craig, thanks for stopping by. Well, the history on the old red Camaro. The red Camaro is what you're wondering about? Well, the red Camaro was originally a California Z28 with a 305. Gal moved back this way, or I'm not sure. Yes, they do. They get sore. Gal moved back moved here to Iowa and then got hooked up with a friend of mine, and then they got married, and then they had a couple of kids, and they had the Camaro. Well, somehow or another, when they split, he ended up with the Camaro. And then the Camaro has been bounced around. Well, he took out the original 305, sold it. What I miss there, H? Target motor. I don't know if it was a Target motor. Anyway, the 302, okay. Now, it was a 305. He took that out, put a 350 in it. So the original motor I knew was gone to the car. Well, then it's bounced. I've had it once, and I got rid of it. Then I got it back. I got rid of it. And then I got it back. I mean, the poor cars. I'll have to look at the odometer. Those are all original miles on it. And there might be missing a few miles because not everybody that drove the car had the speedometer always working. So whatever mileage is on the clock is what it's actually close to being what's on that car. Well, then I got it. Then it's set here. Then the guy that... Nope, it's a 79 Z28 California car. And, yeah, it's a 79. And I had it sitting here on the farm. And my buddy that had owned it, well, he took the 305 out and put a 350 in. He had a shop up in South Dakota, and he's like, hey, let's put that car away. I'm like, okay, fine. So it's set up at his place for about a year or two. Then one day he calls me. He says, hey, got bad news. I said, what's that? He said, the shed that we put the cars in. And I'm like, oh, no. He says, my car, his 85 Cutlass that we were always raised hell in, the roof of his Cutlass was down on the seat. And he says the Camaro was right next to it, but it's buried under so much snow and junk, we don't know what's happened to the Camaro. I thought, oh, no. Well, went up there spring thaw, and we got looking. I wasn't too happy that they were walking all over the car, but the only thing it ended up with was 2 dents from the 2x6s that used to be the roof rafters. On the driver's side, didn't break the T-tops, didn't break the glass. I'm like, okay. So then I always said, well, I'm coming up to get the car and bring it back, since he obviously didn't have a place to store it no more. Well, in the 2-hour drive for me to get there, and I went to load the car, all the keys to the car disappeared. He was kind of that way. So he finally come out and helped us and was nice and got it on the trailer, and I strapped her down and brought her home, and it's been here, and it's hard to believe 4 years ago. It's been 4 years, and I didn't think it until I looked back at the video. There's video of it when I rebuilt the 350. That's that 78 Camaro 350 build that's in the playlist over on the left. That's the motor that's in that car. Well, I got pieces to finish fixing the brakes and that, and I think we're going to get them out. I got this Monte Carlo SS out here that's got a good set of tires on. I think we're going to put them on the Camaro and drive it around a little bit this year. Or if the other dream that comes true is I know I got a buddy that wants to come and he wants to help repair the rust and get the car ready for paint. So, I don't know. It'd be great if we could. I'd like to get that thing all done up and get the body work and all the paint work done, then worry about the interior. Wife kind of wants to change it to a blue and a white. The blues that she's picked out is a very pretty blue, so I don't know. But if I fill this building up with more engine tools, I definitely got to come up with another addition or another building to do the body work in and all that. So I don't know. I've got a lot of ideas, but just got to keep them going. And that's why I wish these motors were selling. I might break down and try Craigslist again. I mean, I had calls on the 350, but All I could give to him, well, I can go to the parts house and get this. I said, yeah, but that's a mass-produced piece of junk that's got oddball-sized pistons in it. This is the motor you'll be buying from me. All the pistons are the same size, it's the same bore, and everything's been checked. So, I don't know. So the Camaro has been sitting inside now for 4 years. So I'm thinking about, I don't know if it'll be this week or wait a couple of weeks. Drag the generator and the air compressor that works with it and pump the tires back up on it, throw a battery in it, and see if she starts. I did put fresh gas in it. And I have to get her out and drive it around again. But that's where the parts car are out here. That's got all my key. I got the keys for all the locks. It's got all the chrome. It's got everything. So I could part that car out, but then again, at the same time, I don't know if I want to take it apart, because then you start bagging and tagging and putting stuff in boxes. Then you forget where the stuff went, and then you break down, buy new stuff, and then you always find it after you bought new stuff. So yeah, that's why the parts Camaro is still in one piece. And actually, I'm about ready to put some brake calipers on and get that thing running again and beat on it for a while before we tear it apart, because it does run and drive, and it has that working. Last year, that parts Camaro, it was last year or 2 years ago. It still has a working R12 AC system in it. It's still fully charged and it gets cold. So I'm like, that would be a fun thing to do there, Joe. Yep. I just got to get. I got to get a few of these motors to sell to have the money to buy. Not that I really need to buy much more, but I do need to buy a few more things for the Camaro. Because I'm going to have to redo the A-arm bushings and all the ball joints and everything on it. And we could drive it the way it is for right now and have a little fun with it. And then maybe this next winter, that'll be the winter project. If I don't get set up as rebuilding motors all winter. Get a storage container or something, put all this stuff in, and empty the building out and put the Camaro in here and start on it. Yeah, the other thing I got to worry about with the Camaro is I know the cowl needs to be replaced. I know that needs to be replaced up under there. Because driving it up and down the gravel roads, you can see the windshield moving, and you can see the dash flexing up there. Yeah, there's another big one coming up? Okay. Oh, heck, that's coming up fast. I didn't realize this. Hey, Mike, welcome back. Just got talking about the history of the Camaro. That Camaro at one time did have my 377 in it. I had one of those buddies that, trust me, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Father-in-law was busy at the time. He couldn't do my double humped heads. This guy's like, oh, I can do them. They got a machine shop and that. And I was there. I watched him. I thought he was doing okay. We got her together and we went. The shop was out in the country like I am. We got down to the highway and I took off with it and she was running hard and all of a sudden it started spitting sputtering. I'm like, well, maybe the timing's off or the rocker arm's backed off or something. So we go back and pull off the valve covers. Yeah, they were a couple of them loosened up, so we readjust them, not thinking, went out and tried romping on it again. It kept getting worse. Damn near didn't make it back to the shop. It's winter time. And we're like, start doing a compression test. Doing a compression test. And we lost compression on a couple cylinders. Well, we pulled the heads back off, and we bent 3 valves. He had the guides too tight. He forgot to loosen the guides. So we were doing that, and the next morning I had to be to work. And the old boy that had the machine shop, he had a whole 400 small block sitting on the floor. Didn't know nothing about it. We ended up pulling the 377 out, sticking that old 400 back in it, and I got it running in time to go to work next day. I was a lot younger back then, and I went up and got my 377 back, took it to the father-in-law, and the words my father-in-law said to me, he says, "You ever let him touch another set of your heads," he said, "I will string you in and out of an 8-cylinder motor and then tie you in a knot in the middle." I said, "It was that bad?" He says, "He almost completely destroyed your heads." Like, ooh. Yeah, so, yeah, I never did let that kid touch anything again. So, yeah. After the father-in-law got done with it, yeah, that thing ran like a scalded ass ape. Let's see. What was that? Otherwise, yeah, that car's had anything from a 355, 305, a 400, 377, and those other guys were trying to run some oddball stuff that they were trying to create, and they never could get it to run right. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't. He didn't use the right stuff. That's for sure. And he says, "Well, I think I forgot to ream them out to fit the valves." Well, I'm like, "Well, that was a hey, roadside Dan, how you doing?" So yeah, live and learn. When the father, well, which is now my father-in-law, he told me that. That's the backwards situation. I've known Mama Bear's dad longer than I've known her. The first time I found out she was her. When I found out she was his daughter was the not one night I said, "Hey, is there another gal named?" He goes, "Yeah, that's my daughter. What's she do now? Because I heard her over the police scanner." That's that's first I knew, and then yeah, it's kind of funny on how Mama Bear and I met. Then I met her one night at some guy's party. I'm getting in my car to leave, and she pulls in, blocks us in. I says, "We're getting to leave." She's like, "Move it yourself." I'm like, "Wow, what a..." Yeah. And then she come into the junkyard, and well, here we are 23 years later. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you put the... Yeah, well, one of my first motors I ever built, as I put the pistons in, I knew it would get tighter to turn over. Well, when I went and put number 8 in, it was locked up. I'm like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And I mean, this is going way back in the beginning. What I did wrong on that motor is I forgot to pay attention once were 1, 3, 5, and 7, and 2, 4, 6, and 8. I ended up I had the tangs out, but I had the odd on the even and the even on the odd side, which meant the radius in the rod was up against the radius towards the center where it wouldn't make a difference. And the sharp edge of the rod was out on the radius, locking it up. So, guy pointed that out, and once he pointed that out, I never made that mistake again after he pointed that out. He just laughed at me. He says, let's take them out, check the bearings, put them all back in, and heck, that 22 foot-pound or so, yeah, it turned over like it's supposed to after that. I mean, you learn by your mistakes. And oh, I didn't scroll up with him. So, yeah. Huh. Yep, we've had all sorts of stuff take place, and wish I would have had a camcorder back in the day. Like I said, the stuff I've seen happen at racetracks over the years, yeah, it's hard, especially when I watch that '78 Monte Carlo, the '78 to '80 Monte Carlos. The guy went in turn 3 and 4, and somehow he stood that thing up on the trunk and spun all the way through the corners, landed on all four wheels. They brought it in, worked on it, and he went out and won the feature that night after that. I mean, seeing crazy stuff. And there's a guy that they recorded 27 times rolling down the back straightaway from 2 to 3. He clipped off 3 trees and ended up 12 foot away from the highway. I got pictures of that when he was in the ditch. And that was a Pontiac GTO. That was a Judge that he turned into a race car. Everybody about killed him for it because he said, if you guys would have seen how bad it was before I turned it into one, you wouldn't be so mad. But still, you made it look like a nice car for a race car, so you could have made it a nice car for the street. But that's what made these cars valuable today, is guys eating them up for race cars and drag cars and getting stupid and having few too many beers and driving off the roads. And hey, Jerry, how you doing? And hi, Gary. Didn't see you slip in. Excuse me. Whoa. Sorry about that. But yep. So yeah, I've got two 400 cranks. One's a 1010 and oh, I bet. Okay, Jerry, you be safe. Yeah, I bet you they were using you for the local mosquito control there for a while then, huh? Yeah, that's where I like these clipped. Okay. Just a second. Oh, 1913. That was 105 years ago. Ah. Sorry. Oh, why ain't this thing scrolling up again? All right, HRM, thanks for coming by. They won't sell the motor. Why? Oh, we're going to fix it up ourselves, I guess. I bet. Wow, that is a little. Heck, that motor ain't even broke in yet. The only problem with those ones in the 400s and even with the 454s, they usually centrally mounted those things and they did run warm. Yeah. Anyway. Oh wow, that's an I haven't heard that in a long time. They said they want to keep it. They hadn't seen one in 20 years. Yeah, these 400s are getting scarce. I mean, just like all the Monte Carlos, Regals, Cutlasses, and all that, they're disappearing fast. I mean, you used to be able to find them 5 to a farm place, and now there's not one to be found for a long way. So, yeah. So yeah, I know everybody's kind of wanting me to work on a 400. I think I'm going to either, like I said, I'm either going to try and press those. The sad thing is, if I break one, hey Ryan, if I break one of those pistons on that 400, then the whole set's junk. That's why I'm trying to figure out how to clean those up the best without disturbing them, because Ohio pistons are no longer made. Oh, cool. That sounded like fun, Ryan. Ohio pistons are no longer made, and you can't find any replacements for them. And that kind of worries me, because I got 3 sets here, and 2 sets have rods on them, and they're kind of rusty dirty, so I'm trying to figure out how to clean them up the best without having to disturb them. So I'll figure it out. I usually do. Yeah, you can't like this. This set here has R's and L's on them, right and lefts. I can't even see why they did that, because everything, the domes are exactly the same between the right and left. I know sometimes you could see where they offset the fly cut, but when you have them in there and you got them straight. Oh yeah, I've been paying the price for about a week with my back. It's not obvious, so I guess I'm going to have to do a little fitting and testing before I bolt the heads on. I kind of got to. The head bolt sealer is, the part number on that is number 8633. Come on, focus. 80633. Well, how bad is, what do you consider a slight ring ridge? You're welcome, Mike. I guess the thing, which one of it was it now? I'm losing track. Okay, the 6-inch, that was a complete fresh board. Maybe Mama Bear's 327. It had oh, you out of wheels right now, Ryan? Or was it this late model? Well, one of these two, it's either Mama Bear's 327 or this late model one. what luckily was worked out for me. That's the other thing you're going to have to do, Jason, is find out if it's actually a true 30 over bore or if they were fitted to crap pistons and they were small like these two motors were. As if they're small, and luckily when this late model motor, by the time he was done honing to fit these correct size pistons, all the ring ridge was gone. It cleaned up. And there's one cylinder that just barely has a faint outline of a yeah, then it probably has to go 40 over then. That's going to be cutting it close. Ah, okay. Now if it's 10,000, yeah, you might be having to go to 40 over. Okay. And a guy asked me, number 7 cylinder on small block Chevy, if it was busted at the bottom. Told him, no way, that's the way the clearances for the distributor. Oh, oh, jeepers. Easy access for the distributor. Oh, up in there, up inside where it looks funny at the bottom there. Yeah. Yep. Really want to throw them off. Grind out those the valley return oil holes like I do, and then have him look. Then he'd be really worried. What's going on here? Why you got such a big hole here? Well, that's what it's supposed to be. Just wasn't cast the best. Let's. Oh yeah. They did that on the 400s too. Oh. Yeah, I haven't even got that big 396 here that I'm thinking about playing with some point this year. I know I need one valve. Why ain't this thing scrolling up any? Ah, yeah, good reason to get rid of the Mercedes then. Let somebody else have it. I know I need one valve, and those are the good special 396 heads. They checked out the. Oh, hopefully the brake line's on something easy. Hopefully not a Ford. My buddy ended up changing 2 more brake lines on the kids' Ford pickup. The one that went over the axle. I think he threw it away in one of the rubber hoses. Looked like the factory one. It looked like the rubber hose was actually made on that line to stay on that line because there was no nut or nothing to take off. So thank goodness they sent that with oh, Cavalier. Oh, that might be just bad too. Oh, those ain't numbers that you numbers. Oh, I must be getting tired again. Those ain't cars that you hear much about anymore. We had a Chevy Celebrity. Oh, and the old Chevy Corsicas. Wow. Believe it or not, we traded that old Corsica off. That guy sold it to a dealership, and somebody stole that Corsica off the dealership slots. The guy didn't even have the paperwork to the car from the other dealer that we traded it into. And somebody stole that thing. It had a brand new motor in it. And they stole it. They never did find the car. I got a feeling it became one of those, back at that time they were running the compact cars. I got a feeling it was stolen and turned into a compact car. Oh, 70. Yes. I had a couple of I had a 71 and 72 Monty, but I never got my hands on a 70. Yes, the old 402. Uh-huh. Oh, the father. Oh, it's still in the fam. Well, yeah, close. Cool. Yeah, I was. There's a guy going to look at some cars locally here, and he asked me about the Monte Carlos, and he's hoping to find an old. What the heck is he looking for? 48 or 51 Chevy of some kind. Because then he was asking me about the prices on the motors I've got done now. Because he wants to build one to have one. I mean, these older guys are kind of starting to, like, hey, you know what? I want a rat rod or just a nice old car to cruise around in. That was weird. Well, I got half battery. Thought I just see my screen flash. I don't know. So hopefully he can find something and maybe help him build his old-time cruising car. Because there's supposed to be a not too far away, about 20 miles away from me. It's supposed to be full of cars. Yes, this 396 is still standard right now, but it does need to be bored. I got the original pistons out of it, but unfortunately it needs to be bored. It's not straight enough. Hey Terry, how you been? Long time no see. If I knew I didn't want to screw up, I'm gonna go see. I gotta stand up for a little bit. I gotta move. We'll go see if we can get the signal outside. Oh, ouch. Oh, wow. Wind's died down a lot. If I go over this direction, we should have a good signal because, yeah, here's what you guys are beaming off of. Right here. Right there. That there. And way, let's see. Right in there is the town that it's beaming off. I found out the other day, I guess they're up on the water tower there. And the water tower in that town took a direct hit. It hit the water tower hard enough, it blew the water main out. They were out of water for 2 days. I'm not sure if their water's back yet or not. And I called the internet company, and they said, well, we got a tower in early. I said, that's the one I bounced off. They said, yep, it took a lightning strike. It's dead. So later that afternoon, they had it going again. So, wow, the grass is... Let's see, is it going to show up? Oh, it's actually turning green now. My poor trees don't look so healthy anymore. For the ones that haven't seen it, I guess we'll come around. Had a guy try to convince me, oh, this ain't worth fixing, it ain't worth fixing. There's my 87 Monte Carlo SS. I've been after that ever since they came out. Hi, Mary. Yep, this is what we got. I've got a place bookmarked. I can get complete rear quarters from roofline all the way down. So, but this is what I got to fight with. Floor pan, I'm not worried about. It's this up here. They weren't nice, and they didn't take stuff apart the way they should have. But yeah, got that, and then that's supposed to be Squirrel's car. I get that painted, and oh, that's kind of nice to be able to walk around. There's a beautiful sunset. That is just the way that's shadowed out. I wish I could get a still picture of that. But yeah. Now who? Ah. Yeah, well, that might be. According here, it says there's 21 people here yet. But who knows? Oh. Yeah, we got the frame for the gray truck. Got the frame down on the ground so we can start messing around with that. Yeah. Yeah, some of the farmers are going to hit the field tomorrow. I drove out in mine. It's dry today. Yeah, that's why I didn't let the guy talk me out of it. He was trying to talk me into letting him have it to turn it into a stock car. I've got the title and everything to that car. It's just in pieces. Unfortunately, I need a complete interior for it. This previous owner didn't take care of it. They had it in the shed, but the shed was infested with mice, so you know what happens to good interior then. It don't stay good long. Temperature must be dropping. Well, yeah, it will. It is 59 degrees. Yeah, we've dropped a little bit already. What was that? I don't know, Andrew. I don't know why it's saying 6 on your end. I got 21. 21 and 15 likes. If I'd known I was going to feel this good, I would have worked on that little 4.0 tonight. We could turn that in the shower block, but I really didn't know how long I was going to be able to go tonight. So yeah, we're down to the one and only Ford left, and he's hiding over here. It's kind of funny. I'm outside and now I'm not getting the bad connection. Yep, there's that Ford. That's what the 4.0 goes in. And then the other one there, that brown car there, we're going to bring that up and get that finished up, have it running. Oh, that's no problem, Jason. Temp is down to 56. We wore up to 67 earlier. Now the sun's going down and cold's moving in. And there's my H2 sitting next to that. I got to get that. I got to get the starter off and try soldering connection inside, and maybe the starter will work again. But, wow, it is just a little bit chilly here. I'm not ready to go inside. The life's too much entertainment. It's nice out, and I need to stand up for a little bit. So, and I tested this once when I hooked up to the internet, and I was almost, yeah, it's. And if the wind wouldn't have been blowing so bad, I got that tree that's down there. I would have lit that up today, and we would have had a campfire. But Gotta wait for non-windy days. So I gotta stand up, and then here I am sitting down already. Right there, that grill I scored last year on cleanup days, and you open it up. I don't think that thing's ever been cooked on. It's just been sitting outside and blowed around, and the people left, and they didn't take it with them. So, yep, ended up with a good one for the farm. So, one of these nights I'm going to have some hamburgers or something and grill them out here. Yeah, so I look around. I really don't have a whole lot that I could haul in for scrap iron. That old brown Chevy down there. I don't know if he shows up too good. That one right there. Was going to see about making a drag truck out of that, but I think we're going to end up cutting that in half and making a pickup box trailer, so I can just throw the iron and scraps and broken car parts in that, and then when it gets full I can drag it in and get a few bucks here and there. Oh, and then over here, if it shows up, right there is the frame for the 2002 gray truck. That truck has supposedly only had 140,000 miles on it when he tore it apart. I ain't gonna try walking over there. Probably lose the stream. But, yep. So yeah, I see the shocks are getting dirty finally. On that we put on. I have 4 shocks on that truck all the way around again. Drives a lot better, but the front end, I got parts to rebuild it. I just need to. I don't know if I can do it on the ground or if we're going to have to sweet talk the cousin and get it up on the hoist. I know I ended up putting it up on the hoist last year, I thought, because I want to have to replace the idler arm and idler arm mount and the pitman arm again, because the drag link's already bouncing up and down. And I don't know why. It shouldn't hurt it. I know I park in our front yard, and when the snow's there, usually once in a while it bounces over. I drive up over the curb at an angle, so it's not really. But then when the snow gets there, then it's usually a smooth drive up into the front yard. But the front end on that did not last, and I kind of blame it on the fact that the parts are greaseless. So, yeah, it's been a long time since we've had a night like this. I mean, nice pretty sky, and it's just gorgeous and nice. A little cool, but I'll take this over what we've had. At least I don't have to put it in 4-wheel drive no more to get out of the yard. I literally had, when I backed up right over to there, right here, right in there, I would have to put it in 4-wheel drive to get out of here. And a couple of my buddies that come down, they did too for a while. It's been many, many years since the bottom went out of this driveway like that. So, I kind of wanted to save that old couch, but it ain't too bad, but it takes up too much real estate in the shop. I'd put it up here and sit under it, but the tree here is a good bird pouch, and yeah, they've nailed my truck pretty good already. Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of projects coming up, and then where is it? Right there is a trailer we got to finish. There is a 305, I think, is in that parts Camaro. See, that's an 80. That one's an 81, and ours is 79. So I could almost put the Camaro back to the original with the 305 out of another Camaro, but it's 2 years too new. It'd be close, but yeah. And unfortunately, in a way, I kind of wish that car had a good title. Well, there's a title, but nobody knows where it's at, and nobody will help me get it. And it came from Nebraska, so I ain't even going to mess around with it. I just want to get it going, get it, yeah, get the stuff off that I need, and I'm going to save the subframe. Then I'll have two extra subframes for ours. 1818. Wow, that's cool. What was it? Hey, Kenny, how you doing? You snuck in on me. Yep, here's the farm, bud. We've been outside for a little bit, and just kind of nice to be able to do this. So yeah, that old parts Camaro's got a 305 in it. And when I take that front end apart, I've looked at it, and if I can do it correctly, I can take that apart and save the AC system. And if we want to put air conditioning into the rig Camaro, we could actually put a working AC system into the Camaro without destroying it. A little extra work to do it, but it's worth it. So, otherwise, yeah. So, like I said, that old brown 89 Chevy might get cut up this week. That little truck of squirrels, that little ZR2. It's rough. Actually, I should get a book to see what they're offering for parts, if they're offering any more, or if they're offering less parts. If they're offering less parts, then maybe I'll just strip that out and send that to the crusher too. I don't know. But yeah, it's hard to believe at one time, well, right where this building is, right there, and up to the west wall, while the garage wasn't here, there used to be a pile of iron that went halfway up that building. And when that guy started loading that up off the farm here, it filled a flatbed of his 1.5 times. My dad was still alive when we hauled that off. And there was an old manual tranny out of a truck. And I said, Dad, when did you ever have that? He says, boy, I don't ever remember pulling one. But yeah, there was an old transmission at the bottom of that pile. And 50-foot flatbed trailer with 4-foot sides on it filled it 1.5 times from that pile of iron alone. And it's hard to tell it now, but I guess we burnt down 16 buildings on the farm and buried a lot of concrete. It's crazy. But now it's safe to walk around on and party on and have fun. And then I put a lot of trees back. This tree's finally doing its job about 20 years too late, but it's working. I'm waiting for him to get filled out because he is now big enough. He keeps the building in shade long enough for the day that it actually doesn't get hot in the shop anymore. So that's why I'm not too worried about AC in there. But, all right, my fingers are getting cold. Ouch. Anybody else got any questions or anything? I mean, I know we've covered quite a bit, and yep, Kenny, there's the little 4.0, all with his new deck and bore job, and can't remember what else he did to that, but he said it needed quite a bit of work. Yep, Mama Bear's out running around taking care of kids. Oh. Squirrel, she had prom this weekend. Stay there. So yeah. So yeah, it gets warm and gets dry. Then I can start pulling stuff up by the building again and get going on it again. Oh, yesterday, that's what I wanted to say earlier. We ended up going with the kids to the rec center and out to supper. While we were at the rec center, oh, that hot tub felt really, really good yesterday. That was a big blessing. I'm in the big pool, and I said, hey, Mom, come here. We locked arms together, and she bent forward while I was in the pool. Yeah, I wish you guys would have heard my back. That was just like a pow. And I'm glad I was in the water floating, because it actually it hurt some, but it didn't hurt. And I'm like, oh man, that felt good. So I was doing pretty good with that. And then today I've got up a couple of times and it went crunch crunch. I'm like, yeah. Speaking of that, I've got an 8-foot ceiling, and I've been thinking about going from floor to ceiling with some kind of pivoting hoist or something, because my doctor warned me I got to figure out some way to start lifting this stuff without lifting it myself. Because he says, you blow your back out being the size you are, nobody's going to fix you. He says, that will finish you. So talking to somebody, told them the situation, and they've got enough scrap metal, they're going to, and that's what they design, is some cranes like that, and they build fire rescue stuff, and they put the swivels in that. So he goes, he's going to do some figuring and see. And I said, well, since I got 8-foot ceilings, I'd like to go 8 foot. And he said, well, if we go 7 foot so you can stand it up in there, he said, you can have a 7-foot arm on it. I'm like, well, that would help. That definitely would help. I would I would mount it to where I could lift stuff out of the pickup and swing it into the hot tank. And then this end of the shop here, I would be able to work and lift the block, put it on the engine stand, then I'd have the wheels. So I guess I got to get smarter about doing this stuff. I've got to stop playing He-Man and lifting this stuff, and I'm going to have to start using a crane of some kind. So I've looked at the Harbor Freight one, which is adjustable. It should go short enough to fit in here, but with my garage door here, it would interfere with, it wouldn't help me getting anything into the hot tank. And if I do what I'm thinking is move my shop press and mount that there, then I can swing over, get stuff out of the pickup, swing it in, put it on either on an engine stand, or if it's a bare block, I could swing it right into the hot tank and clean it. So that's the other thing I've been thinking about since my stay in the hospital a week ago, on how to make it easier on me to continue to keep doing this, so I don't end up in that wheelchair that's sitting out front here. I don't know. I think I might throw that thing away. That's been kind of an omen since we throw it out here. So I'm trying to figure all that out too. And I every time I lift a block, I always hear in the back of my head the old boys back when I was young that was telling you, hey, you shouldn't do that, young man. You really need to get a cherry picker or ask a friend for help. Oh, I'm young. It just takes too much time. Should have listened to them. They knew it. They knew what they were talking about. But we live and learn the hard ways that time, so yeah, I kind of miss the days when I would be able to reach down, grab a 350 4-bolt main by the center main, and bring it up and hold it straight out here in front of me. Bear small block Chevy. The block itself is 250 pounds. I've always wondered how much that was. Yeah. Buddy of mine, one time we had a short block with a steel crank in it, and we had the cattle, so we had to go through the gate, a small walk gate, and to drop the fence was a pain. Yeah, I know, Jerry. I should have. Well, my mom and dad. Anyway, I'll finish with this. So the guy picks up the motor out of the back of the motor, going through the gate. He misjudged the gate, and he smashed these 3 fingers. And I said, just drop it, we'll get it. He hit, I mean, I seen, as soon as he smashed his fingers on that post, I seen blood. I said, drop it. He said, no. He walked up through there and stepped up into the building and set it on the bench before he put it down. And I'm like, go get your hand taken care of. And he says, I wasn't going. I don't know. Uh, he wasn't going to drop it. He got it in there, but okay. Yeah, should have done it years ago. And well, it used to be. Thing was, everybody said when my neck through here and the redness started moving down my chest, they knew they were in trouble. They said the further it got down my chest, the meaner I got. I didn't realize that. Oh, that's what I was going to say. You know, I always kind of felt bad because my nieces and nephews never really wanted hugs or anything from me. Well, as I got older and Mom finally explained it, she says, when you're giving a hug, you think yourself you're not squeezing. I said, I'm not. She says, but you are. She says, your arms are strong, and what you think is weak to you, you're squeezing the kids in too. I'm like, really? So yeah, I used to have some arm strength. Used to. I don't know about now, but yeah, I used to carry two pair of heads. I'd hang one head off this finger and a head off the little finger. Scoop them up, scoop up the other set. So yeah, my index finger and my little finger, I'd hang a cast iron, fully assembled head off, pick them up and walk off with them. My first few engines I built on a wooden bench, and I would bear hug them, roll them back and forth, putting the pistons in, then roll them upside down, do the oil pump and make sure the rods and timing and all that was done. Then roll the thing upright onto the oil pan, put the heads and intake on, and then I had in that old shop. Yeah, I'm afraid if I got that mad to bring that out, oof. Then in the old shop I had my neighbor, he couldn't believe I could hold that up there. Now here's a trick to nailing a board on that you want to stay. Up in the rafter, there's 2 foot on spacing. I put a 4 foot 2x4 up there, but it missed the 2 outer ends, so I just had the 2 center ones. When I nailed that on with pole barn nails, and I didn't go straight into the wood. Here's your 2x4. Instead of going straight into the wood, if you really want a 2x4 to hold, you go in at an angle and tip it out, and you do that opposite on all 4 nails. You play hell getting that board off. And so I had that up in the ceiling, and I had an old chain hoist. I'd run it up, then put the chain up there, and when I need it, I'd flop it down, run it down, hook it on the motor, chain hoist her up, hold the motor, and let it swing off the bench a little, set it on the floor. Then the lift plate, where is that? Lift plate. I know we just used those. Well, what the heck? Anyway, the lift plate my dad made, we'd bolt that, had that on there to swing it down. Then we'd set the motor on the floor. Then we'd take a 4 to 5 foot metal bar we used to have, and then one guy on one end and one on the other, and we'd lift that sucker up and walk out the door with it. Used to. If I would try to do that now today, yeah. We even did that with a 454. That took about 6 times to get it into where we wanted it. And then we were trying to take the heads off it to lighten it up, and the buddy that was helping me at the time, the motor rolled over, and he's like, oh! he's trying to roll it back, it wouldn't roll back. It rolled over, and the fuel pump went into the top of his foot, smashing his foot, and he's like, I can't move it, so I go over and grab it, roll it back off him, and oh, yeah. That's when we kind of decided we don't like 454s, they're too heavy. But yeah, I had a very bad temper when I was younger, and I had to learn to control it. Because if I didn't, I would have died from a heart attack a long, long time ago. But yeah, and I notice it's getting easier. I'm getting some of it back. Nothing like, yeah, but that's not why I do this. I just do it because I need something to do. I got to keep busy. And I kind of feel bad I haven't done anything since Thursday, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'm trying to. I would use the cherry picker more, but since I'm so confined right now, it's more of a hassle. But I guarantee you, I did not lift this V6 by myself. Actually, my buddy did it, and he ain't supposed to. I went to help him, and he already latched onto it and said, "Where do you want it?" And I'll sit it there. So, yeah, I haven't moved any blocks by myself other than being on the engine stand. So, I'm trying to regroup, rethink, and keep things going without doing any more harm to my back. As Doc says, it's already curving, and you know you got bad disc. He says, you blow it now. He says, you'll be done. I'm like, I know. And I told him at the same time, you're going to start paying my bills? And guess what? He didn't say. He didn't say yes or no, but he just kind of looked at me like, yeah, right. So, yeah. That's what I was going to do. I want to see what that one was. Otherwise, I'm not sure what's going to come up for builds. Cat snoring. I started hearing a noise all of a sudden. I'm like, yep, cat snoring. That is true. Oh, what? Oh, okay, that was that one. Okay. Oh, that old school time and chain up there? Holy cow! How'd you? Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. That brings up brings up something. The one reason I kept this chain is the Camaro that is in the Camaro that the motor that is in that 305. The 350 that's in the red Z28 right now came out of that white Camaro. If you go back in my playlist, there's a white Camaro I dismantled. And when I tore that car apart, there was like only 23,000. After finding out the story on the car, that Camaro was probably a 23,000 original mile car. Cam went flat, and the dealership wouldn't do anything about it. They got mad. They parked the car and never had it fixed. It sat on the ground, rotted out. I mean, literally, when we loaded it on the trailer, the rear end almost come out of the car. It's how rotten it was. Well, I wanted the motor tranny, and see, there, I've already stripped one Camaro for the parts for my red car, but I don't know where those parts have gone now. That's why I haven't tore that one out there apart. So knowing that motor was probably low mileage, and it backed up the story, I had the cam around here, but I don't think I kept it anymore. Cam lobe was gone, and this is the original 1978 timing chain and gear out of that 350. I almost put it back in. Because if this thing, if you guys know anything about these, GM had that stupid plastic on there. And there is all the wear. The camera is not doing its justice. There is barely any marks. Oh, there you go. On this plastic gear. I mean, there's the back wear pattern. I do believe that Camaro only had 23 or 26,000 miles on it when the cam went flat. And they didn't stand behind it. When I took this thing out, this thing was still tight. There was no slop in it. So I kind of hung it up on the wall as a keepsake. So, and after tearing in that motor and found out the only reason that motor wouldn't turn over all the way is they had the plugs out of it. I thought, oh great, it's a rust bucket. No, a mouse had crawled in there and died, and where he died and rotted, made a rust ring. That was the only thing that kept that motor from turning over. I tore it apart. Well, if you guys go check out that playlist, you'll see you turn that apart. Oh, well, here, look at this. Here's the bottom metal gear. Yeah. So that kind of even backs up. That motor did not have much mileage on it. Because these things here would have been, it would have been 8 in. So yeah, this is the closest thing to I got a factory original nylon gear timing set. So, and that was an old, let's see, go this way. One more tooth. See, that was not a dot-to-dot one. There. See that? It was a dot to a house or a point to line that up. So yeah, I'm surprised you've seen that up there. Good job. Oh, and here's another little trick for you guys. If any of you are working on a LS motor, and you go to put the timing gear on, you don't have the special socket or anything, found this out. You take the old timing chain oil pump drive you're taking off. It goes on this way. But if you take and start your new one on, turn this around and use your crankshaft harmonic balancer installer, and this, you can push it on. You got to make sure you line up the keyway so it goes keyway to keyway. You can push that onto the crank. Yeah, we do, don't we, Kenny? Whoops, don't knock you guys down. So yeah. Yeah, the plastic would have been chewed up, so. And looking at what I know now, and I did have the title of that white Camaro, for about $2,400 in parts, I could have put a new floor and everything in it, but the thing was so mouse infested, and I just, it was better off for parts. So the motor and transmission that are in the red Camaro are out of that white Camaro. So then I used to have a whole bunch of stuff, but when I gave up years ago for that brief time, a lot of stuff, when I got rid of the old shop, I walked out, left it, and dropped the match. Looking back, I shouldn't have. But made good money off the iron. I guess you can look at it that way. Got us through some tough times, but that's how this stuff becomes valuable. It goes from a point where it's valuable to begin with, then you can't give it away, and then it goes to a value of you can't buy it for less than what it sold new. I mean, I think when we bought my old 76 Monte Carlo, and those things brand new out the door sold for like $2,800, $3,200. I think when we bought my 76 Monte Carlo in 85, I think that car still cost me $1,500. And nowadays, any of those cars that are in great shape are bringing more than what they sold for new. It's just crazy how that works. So yeah, and that's kind of stuff like that I kind of held because I had plans of having an office on here by now. And that was going to be my wall decorations. Broken pieces are good parts that I salvaged, and just have the story walls up there so you can look up and, oh, what's the deal with this? Maybe. Yep, I had every Monte Carlo from 71 to 88. I had in time. And now I'm down to 2 of them. Depending on what this guy finds out with these cars close to here, he said there's supposed to be some newer Monties in this collection. And I said, well, if you find me a 76 that's missing a motor and tranny and they don't want much, I said, get it, we'll deal. So he's going to let me know. I guess he's going next Friday. So if that happens, then we'll have some places to put some. I might even put that 396 in my Monte Carlo. Yep, I had 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, and then 80, and then 81, and 86, and 88, and now the 87. Those are one of the ones I personally Uh-oh! Uh-oh, we're busted. Mama Bear's here. Uh-oh. Well, there just went the dreams. Hi, Mama. How you doing? Oh, cool, Ryan. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, you get her up here. We'll take a look at it and see what you need. Hey, we're talking about getting your Camaro out here soon, Mama Bear, so I can dream a little, can't I? Keep dreaming. Is it June yet? They're not done yet. Oh, now we got 1919. Let's see what that one is. So where's your ears ringing again? Oh, yeah, the swivel buckets. Oh, yeah, now you just remind me. I had the neighbor 75. I ended up with that. Oh, are you talking about fixing the Camaro for her? That'd be cool. I don't know. Okay. That'd be cool. That'd be one way to get us down there. Yeah, that is it. Just so yeah, Mama Bear. There's a 327 here. April's almost over. Everybody's waiting for your build. Let's see what else. Yeah, the swivel seat Monte Carlos, those were fun. I had a few of those. The one car I really kicked myself in the ass for destroying was a 74 Malibu. Let's go to 70. No, it was 73 Malibu with 74 vent windows on the rear quarter, 75 tail lights. Oh, where was that? I can't remember. It had to be a 75. Because 73, 74, and 75, when GM was starting to stop making the Monte Carlo, the big Monte Carlos and the Malibus, they started using up parts. And this was a Canadian-built car, which was all factory original, which somebody's going to strangle me for this one. It had the black SS racing stripes down it with the sunroof, factory tack, factory gauges, factory bucket seats with a factory console, and the back seat was a factory seat. It matched the build sheet. I had the build sheet. It was some ugly looking plaid, but the bucket seats were solid black. It had the 74 vent windows in the rear quarters. It had the 75 headlights and 73 tail lights in the back end of it. They just started eating up parts. And it was a 454 car with a 400 turbo in it. I had a bunch of thieves come here and start stealing parts. I got PO'd flat. Motor and tranny weren't in it, but they got crushed. I'm like, I look back and that's the one car I probably should have just figured out somewhere to stash. As this big Monte Carlo out here was its twin. It was the same thing. It was a 75 with a 454. And after 74, the 454s were no longer supposed to be in those cars. But Canada decided, hey, we got all these extra parts. We're eating them up. So they built some weird cars that were rare. And I had one of them and flattened it. 1919. Oh, you got hit by a Monte Carlo. Oh. Okay, what was right? Okay, Ryan, yeah. I ain't going anywhere. Mama Bear tells me I can't, so. Yeah, I'd like to get the Camaro out and do some smoky burnouts with it. And actually, I'd like to get the one of the Monte Carlos or both of them together. Her Mama Bears and I always had a dream of having a pair of Monte Carlos that were exactly the same except for the motors and the exhaust. She was going to go out and tease them and come back with, say, hey, we'll be back in 20, 30 minutes, and then come back with the other car. Yeah. That would have been fun. Yeah, we got 2 years to go. Then Squirrel will be on her own, and we'll be be the next one out raising. Holy heck. Yep. If you guys, you can ask Mama Bear about the night we outrun a bunch of cops. She was in the car. That was fun. That white Mustang, Main Street. Yeah, that was fun. Looking back, I'm surprised we lived to be this old. Oh. If everybody knew half the stuff we done, yeah. You know, working in a junkyard has its advantages. Hey, hey! I don't want to arrive at the grave in a well-preserved body. I want to arrive there going, holy crap, that was fun. I've Let's see, I've tackled the semi. I've rolled my dad's pickup. I had a lady back into me in Des Moines. I hit a bunch of deer right after I met Mama Bear. What else? I guess that's it. I guess his day hasn't been that crazy. Other than the crazy stuff we did here on the farm with the old cars running around and beating on them, and yeah. Then I've threatened too to take what land we got left and put a small dirt track on it, have our own little raceway out here. Put Mama Bear in one car and put me in the other. See who crosses the finish line first. Uh, I used to have about 4 rows of cars out back in the old hayfield, and we had one old Monte Carlo I just beat the ever living snot out of, and I used to come around the curves, lay down in the seat, and bounce off cars and sit up and take off again. Oh, you think it'd be you first, huh? Might be the one time I might say, no, ladies, not first. I get it. And no hitting, gouging, or biting either, Mama. Yeah, so weather stays nice, and I got a battery here that'll fit the Camaro. I might pull it out of the shed. Might pull it out of the shed this year. Get her out and let her see some daylight and see how it's weathering in that garage. That's what I want to do. I got a lot of things I want to do. We got to get her done. Got to get down to see Kenny here. I got it. Hey, Mama, where's your good-looking outfit? Might have to take you into the bank and see if we can get the banker to just forget about what we're talking about and sign the papers. See if you can have the same effect on the banker as you did the parts guy. 2 or 3 years ago, we went to go get a bunch of parts. That guy behind, and I watched her. She was just being herself, nice, friendly, nothing funny. And that guy was so dang flustered, he didn't know what to do anymore. And we got talking about it on the way home. She goes, "No, no." I said, "Yeah." I wasn't. I said, "Yeah." Oh, then she went up with me a while back to go get parts. And I said, "Well, he must have seen you coming. Why?" I said, "There he goes." He left before we got in the building. Oh, oh, Mama Bear, she's quite fun to have around. That guy didn't know what to do. And she didn't do anything. She said, "Well, we need this, this, and this," and just having a good old time and having fun ordering parts. And he lost it. Holy crap. We're coming up on the 3 hour mark. How's the battery doing? Hard to believe. Yep. Get batteries getting. I got about a fourth of battery left yet. Uh, so yeah. Oh, and Kenny, if you're still here, I lucked out. I did find the. Here, I'll show you guys. Here's the kit. I know you didn't do anything, Mama. There's a kit with no gears. But luckily, I didn't throw them away. Hey, Big. God, I know King said, "Yeah, thank you for coming." I'm going to call you Big. I can't pronounce it like King could. I seen you in King's live stream earlier. Oh, don't you dare fall. Come on, stop me. Whoa. Sit there again. There. Yeah, I didn't throw the gears away, so I'm going to call. I did find gears on eBay for like $25. I'm going to talk to the guy if he wants to use the old ones or go ahead and get new ones. I want to leave it up to him, so. But the tools required to set the timing on this little V6 suck. A whole toolkit for it, special. Yeah, we just been sitting back, kicking back, having fun. Doing my Sunday night ritual here. Somebody's going speeding by. Oh, what was that? Oh. What? Oh no, Mama Bear lost service. Oh, we lost Mama Bear. Darn it. Oh, Mike, if you're here, you're not the only one having trouble with service. What the heck? Oh. Gmail. Oh well. But otherwise, yep. I guess the 454 and this 4.0 this week. And hopefully, I guess I'm just going to have to bite the bullet on the 454, cut that guide, get it positioned, weld it, and finish putting the valve train on and see if we can get her fired up. Oh, wait. I'm waiting on the coil for that. So, yeah, I'm still waiting on parts. That's, well, I need to get that stuff done anyway. Yep. Yeah, and it kind of goes no fun when Mama Bear ain't here. She's a good little gal. Yeah, I would love to have that Camaro fixed up for her so she can drive that. Then I'll fix one of my Monties for myself, and then we go play. But let's see. If that means I'm heading for 3 hours, it's almost 9 o'clock at night. Yep, 9 o'clock at night, and it's dark here finally. I've caught up to everybody else. I don't want that. It's dark. But, well, everybody, I guess I don't know much else for this week, and sorry for the ones that came in late and that. It's time I better go find something to eat and drink and get my medicines. And 10 p.m. for you already. Oh, you back, Mama Bear? Oh, no, you said that earlier. That just flashed up. Oh, shucks. Yeah, she said her phone lost service and she couldn't get back in the stream. I'm like, oh, man. That bites. But, yep, I've taken enough days off. I need to get busy again. And according to the temps and the weather, I think that's going to help. Got a couple of repairs to do on kids' cars, and we got to take the plates back to Mom for her car, which she gave me back, which I'm glad. I didn't want that going to the junkyard. Did a lot of work to that 3-4 years ago. And I got to go look at the video, and I don't even know if she put 1,000 miles on that car since we got it done. So I know everything I did to it ain't wore out yet. But, yeah, and then I got to find something to keep laying bolts out for this 4.0 and get that all organized and compare what's left of these chain followers and cassettes, as they call them, for the 4.0, and then get that thing together and out of here. So, like I said, there's the book, which I need to read up on it again, get familiar with it. I see I'm going to have to drain that radiator hose. But otherwise, I guess everybody, I'm going to probably head for home, get the medicine, and eat a little something, and go to bed, and get a good night's sleep, and see what this week brings for everything. I sure enjoy everybody coming by, and appreciate Cab 7 for what he done tonight. The donation, that's all Cab 7, and I thank you very much, my friend. And totally surprised me with that. I mean, I guess it's time to get back at it, get the wrenches turning, and last thing I will bring you guys up, I talked to the guy about the new decals. We got a price. Once I can get some money and get them, they're going to be a little bit more. But it's going to be a 3x5, and it's got a lot more detail and color to it. So they're going to run a little bit more, but I want to get some neat TLC Bear ones. I don't know if you guys remember a while back when I showed the blue ones. That's what I'm going to have made up to get out. So anyway, guys, thank you, Jason, Kurt, everybody, Kenny. Time to wrap it up. It's we're almost 3 hours in, and I better go get some more water. That's the only downfall to having this water pill. So, see you guys in the videos this week, and see you again next Sunday night at 6 o'clock Central PM time. So, you guys all have a blessed week. Stay safe, and enjoy this nice weather that's coming. So, thanks, everybody. Talk to you all later.